Sometimes, people behave obnoxiously when they are drunk, and they may even break the law. However, by the time they sober up, the damage has already been done. Let's look at 4 such encounters where drunk people thought that laws don't apply to them. In May 2022, deputies in Clarno, Wisconsin responded to a report of a 21-year-old male causing a disturbance at a residence. The caller mentioned the individual threatening to enter the home, yelling about beer, and appeared highly intoxicated. Upon arrival, deputies heard the male yelling and using his shoe to hit the home's window.
Sir, can you come over here to speak to us? Yes, come over here and talk to me.
This man wants to talk to you?
All right.
Then that's him.
The homeowner explained that he was sleeping on the couch when he was awakened by the male hitting the window. The male wanted to talk about beer and insisted on the homeowner opening the door, which the homeowner refused. The situation escalated as the male threatened to break the window and rip the door off its hinges.
I said, I'm not opening the door. What do you want? What do you want? Something about beer in the yard. But he acted like he thought he was at the bar.
Deputies attempted to calm the male down, asking him about an earlier fight at a bar and assessing his condition. The male mentioned being hit at the bar and provided inconsistent details about the events. He behaved obnoxiously towards the officers.
You got some nicotine on you?
We don't. Where do you usually keep your ID at,
See,
man?
like the D.I.D. in there.
As the interaction continued, he became increasingly uncooperative, asking to hit his vape and insisting on certain conditions before cooperating. Deputies tried to gather information, including checking his pockets for identification and addressing his claim of being assaulted at the bar. Deputies attempted to calm him down, but his behavior remained disruptive.
What do you want? What do you want? You want 3 shots or 2 shots?
1 shot of
So
what?
I mean, 1 shot of what?
During the encounter, he started threatening the law enforcement officers, asserting that they would lose their badges. He questioned the officers about their authority and demanded their names, all while making explicit threats about legal consequences and potential lawsuits.
You're gonna lose your badge,
Okay.
sweetheart.
That's fine.
You're gonna lose your badge.
EMS arrived to assess his condition, but they refused to transport him due to his uncooperative behavior. He continued to be loud, vulgar, and refused to cooperate with law enforcement.
My leg is itching. My leg is itching. Let's go. No, man, my leg is hurting right now.
answer a question
My
for me?
leg is hurting.
As the deputies tried to take him to the police car, the man decided to stop moving his legs and didn't want to cooperate. They had to lift him and put him in the car. As the situation unfolded at the hospital, the male continued to be disruptive and verbally abusive towards the officers and hospital staff. He also disturbed other patients at the hospital. He deliberately overfilled a urinal and urinated on the floor.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm not the guy you should be looking for.
The male was charged with felony battery, threatening law enforcement officers, misdemeanor, resisting, and disorderly conduct. If you thought you've seen it all, then you are not ready for the next one. On June 18, 2021, an incident began with a distress call from a woman who felt unsafe due to a heated altercation with her intoxicated husband. The woman, fearing for her safety and that of her children, made the brave decision to leave and seek refuge elsewhere. When officers arrived, they intercepted the woman in a nearby parking lot, where she recounted the intense verbal dispute that had unfolded moments before.
Anything physical, pushing, kicking, scratching, shoving, just an argument?
Yeah,
verbal argument?
but he's been drinking, so I'm like, fine, I'll leave, but he has my phone.
The distressed woman addressed her concerns about her rights, her children, and her cell phone which her husband had taken. The woman explained that it was mainly a verbal dispute fueled by her husband's drinking. The officer suggested a plan to visit the house, with one officer making contact with the husband while the woman waited outside. As they approached the house, the husband vehemently opposed their presence. Despite attempts by the officers to de-escalate the situation and explain the woman's rights, the husband became increasingly agitated and aggressive.
She's not even in the house, so get the out of here.
Okay, she's
How
right
about
here.
that? Okay, so I tried to be polite, but at this point, get the out of here.
The officers continued to emphasize the importance of cooperation and the woman's rights to her belongings in the house. The officer warned him that he had to let her in so she could get her stuff, but the husband just would not listen and closed the door.
And if you try and stop her, I'm going to take you to jail. I'm telling you that right now.
The officers approached him once more, proposing a fair deal to hand over the items his wife wanted, assuring him they wouldn't enter the house. But this is how he responded.
That's pretty fair.
No, it's my property. Get the call now.
Despite the continued resistance, The officers maintained their composure and professionalism, refraining from using force as long as possible. The situation became critical when the wife allowed the officers into the house through the garage door. At that point, the husband threatened physical harm and displayed aggressive behavior toward the officers. The officers had to take decisive action to ensure everyone's safety. With the husband's continued aggression and refusal to comply, they proceeded to arrest him for assault on a law enforcement officer.
You're gonna go to jail.
Back up.
All right, you're under arrest.
After the arrest, the husband started spewing curses at both the officers and his wife.
Get the out of here.
That's the mother of your children.
Yeah.
He was arrested and charged with assault on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest with violence. While drunk people are bad, drunk drivers are the worst. That's what you will see in the next case. On July 11, 2023, in Stuart, Florida, an incident unfolded involving a potentially intoxicated and reckless driver. A caller alerted dispatch, leading to a Martin County Sheriff's deputy locating the vehicle and initiating a traffic stop. The driving pattern observed was indicative of impairment. The vehicle pulled over but mounted a curb, striking a rock boulder in a parking lot. Upon approaching the vehicle, the deputy detected a strong odor of intoxicants. The driver, identified as a 41-year-old female named Dina, lacked a driver's license and registration.
Do you have any type of identification on you? Do you have a purse? Do you have a registration? Anything over there that you No? No.
The deputy learned that Dina's driver's license had been suspended multiple times, and the vehicle was unregistered. The encounter was challenging, with Dina providing minimal information. A backup officer was called to assist, and it was evident that cooperation was lacking.
What's going on? You feeling okay?
No.
What's wrong? You have any medical issues? You gonna be able to tell me, can you talk? What's going on with you today?
Dina's account of the events seemed disjointed and uncooperative. The deputy's attempts to assess her sobriety were met with resistance. Her behavior was odd. She was so intoxicated that she started verbally insulting herself.
Based on your observations,
Right?
I'm a whore and you don't care.
Well, that's not what I said.
The decision was made to arrest her for DUI, given the apparent impairment.
I'm placing you under arrest for DUI. You're not complying with anything that I'm asking you to do. Can you tell me if you have any medical conditions that I need to get checked out before we take a ride? Are you diabetic or anything? You don't want to talk to me? That's okay.
At the jail, efforts to communicate with Dina continued, with her displaying defiance. Dina's refusal to cooperate with sobriety tests and a breath test added complications to the situation.
Are you willing to perform standardized field sobriety tests? Is that a no? Okay, so I'll note that as a no.
Dina's defiance persisted, leading to an additional misdemeanor charge for refusing the breath test. In the end, Dina faced charges for misdemeanor, driving under the influence, refusal to submit to testing, failure to register motor vehicle, and driving with a suspended license. Her bond for this incident was set at $150,000. If you thought Dina was the worst drunk driver, wait until you see the next one. On March 8, 2023, a car stopped in the middle of traffic, and the driver, Cindy Miranda, got the attention of the police. She seemed confused and upset, not understanding why she was in trouble.
Are you being aggressive?
No, you are being arrested.
Nope.
No.
Come on, we're going back to the car. Let's go.
Despite the officers' attempts to figure things out, Cindy kept resisting and saying she wasn't driving. She was also worried about her daughter and wanted to leave. The police, however, needed to sort out the situation and find out if she had been drinking and driving.
What's going on today?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing, honestly. I don't know what's going on.
The police asked Cindy to do some tests to check if she had been drinking, but she refused. They explained that if she didn't take the tests, her driving privileges could be suspended for a year. Cindy didn't seem to care about the consequences and continued to argue with the police. The officers decided to arrest Cindy.
Honestly.
Are you wanting to perform some field sobriety
I'm
exercise?
not doing anything wrong.
Okay. All right, so then you're going to be placed under arrest, okay?
She was charged with driving under the influence, driving with a suspended license, and resisting arrest. Before you go, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.